Hello students. Earlier we discussed about the singly linked list and the various algorithms for the singly linked list, and now we are going to discuss doubly linked list and its algorithms. So comparing to the singly linked list, doubly linked list is more powerful. It's more powerful because it allows us to perform traversal in both directions. We know that the limitation of singly linked list is that you can do traversal in only one direction. That is, if you start from the head node, you can go to every subsequent node. So from the head node to the first node, from first to second till the last node. The moment you hit the null value, then you will be ending the traversal. But if you want to come back to the first node from the last node, then it is not possible because we only have the next addresses. We don't have the address of the previous nodes, and that is what is added into the doubly linked list. So in the doubly linked list, every node contains two pointers, one pointing to the successor, another pointing to the predecessor, and as a result of this, you can traverse from head to last and similarly last to first. So both are possible, and because of this the additional pointer and also the ability to traverse in both directions, doubly linked list is used in lot of applications comparing to singly linked list. And if we have to point out a drawback of doubly linked list, it is consuming more memory. It is obvious that because we are now adding another pointer into the linked list, then the amount of memory needed for the implementation is going to be doubled. So comparing to singly linked list, so that is the limitation or drawback, but it's not a significant one. So we still make use of doubly linked list for a variety of applications. And so we are going to refer to the two pointers as backward pointer and the forward pointer. So understand the meaning of these two pointers clearly, since we will be making use of them in the discussions of the algorithms. See, backward pointer is one which points to the next node. Okay, I mean previous node. Backward pointer is one which points to the previous node or the predecessor, whereas forward pointer is one which points to the successor. So in some of the books it is referred as a previous pointer and a next pointer. So previous pointer is equivalent to backward pointer in our context terminology, and the next pointer is equal to the forward pointer. So, and also there is a variant of doubly linked list called circularly linked list. So here the difference between the doubly linked list and the circularly linked list is that in the circularly linked list, the forward pointer of the last node will be assigned with the address of the first node. Similarly, the backward pointer of the first node will be assigned with the address of the last node. So you can see that it becomes like a chain or a cycle. So if you go to the last node and if you continue to traverse using the forward pointer, you will directly come to the first node. So you don't need to do any reverse traversal to reach the first node. You can just move to the first node from the last node. Similarly, if you want to do a reverse traversal, then from first node you can directly go to the last node. So that is the only difference between the doubly linked list and the circularly linked list. But in this particular discussion, I am only going to focus on a doubly linked list. We will be later focusing on a implementation of circular linked list. So before actually discussing the algorithm for the insert and delete operation, I am going to just show you a pictorial demo of how the insert operation is supposed to take place in the doubly linked list. Let's say okay, and one more point is that the insert operation has got options. That means we can either insert into an empty list, or we may be inserting into a list that already contains some nodes, and also we may be trying to insert into as the new node as the first node, new node as the middle node, new node as the last node. So there are options available. The first option is we are just going to insert a node for the first time into the linked list. So for that, this is what we have to do. So we have to assign null value into both the backward pointer and forward pointer, okay, of the new node, and we have to change the head pointer to contain the address of the new node. So then the insert operation is completed. The next option is inserting at the end. So we already have one or few nodes and the new node is supposed to be inserted at the end. Then what changes are required into the list? So one is we have to put the data into the new node, then we have to change the backward pointer of the new node to have the address of the last node, okay. So last node as of now, that value is written into this backward pointer, and the forward pointer of the new node is going to be null. And after that we have to change the forward pointer of the previous last node with the address of the new node. So 140 is written here, and this completes the insert operation. So we just have seen how to insert at the end of the existing list. Next is inserting as the first node. So here there are some nodes available and we want to insert the new node at the beginning or at the front. In that case what changes are needed? So first step is, again we have to write the data into the node, then the backward pointer of the new node becomes null because it is the first node, so it's not going to have any backward pointer or back node. Then the forward pointer of the new node is assigned with the address of the previous first node, and from where we got this address is from the head only, okay. These points are important from the algorithm point of view. So we actually collect the address of the first node from the head and put it into the forward pointer of the new node, and after that we have to write the address of the new node into the head pointer. So now that we have connected the previous first node with the next with the new node, we can safely override the head pointer for writing the address of the new node. So 170 has been written into the head, and the last step is here we have to put 170. That is the backward pointer of the previous first node is now assigned with the address of the new node. So which it has now become part of the linked list. The next option is inserting as a middle node. So when I say a middle node, what do I actually mean is that it need not be exactly the middle node of the linked list. It can be anywhere in the linked list, but the meaning of middle node in our context is that it is neither the first node nor the last node. That's what we just, when you say it's a middle node, because when you say it is a first node, its backward pointer is null, and when you say it is a last node, its a forward pointer is null. But for a middle node, neither the forward pointer nor the backward pointer is null, because it contains both a predecessor and a successor, and that's what we mean by middle node. So in this particular case I want to insert the new node here. Now what changes are required? So step 1, as usual, the data has to be copied, then the backward pointer of the new node is going to be the previous node of the new node, and this will be okay. And one more point is that we are going to use the search algorithm for getting the address of the previous node, so that we are not going to discuss in the insert logic. We will just be assuming that there is a search algorithm which will tell us where the insert has to take place. So with the help of this we are going to just insert. So we are inserting here, the backward pointer is copied with the address, and the forward pointer is assigned the address of the next node, and the previous the node forward pointer is assigned with the address of the new node, and finally the backward pointer of the successor is assigned with the address of the new node. So now the insert operation is completed. Having seen the the implementation, you would have got some idea what are the changes required in the insert operation at various positions. Now we are going to apply that into the algorithm. So this is the algorithm I have constructed for the insert operation, and this algorithm, it's not available in our textbook. It is given as exercise for us to implement. So based on our understanding of the singly linked list, we are required to implement the insert operation and the delete operation for the doubly linked list. So the first point you have to understand is that comparing to the singly linked list, the doubly linked list requires more steps. Obviously, because we have got two pointers to deal with, forward pointer and backward pointer, and as a result, the number of steps have been extended. So you will see it while we discuss the algorithm. So first step is that we check whether the p-pre is null. Okay, remember the value of the p-pre is going to be returned by the search function depending upon the value that you want to insert. And one more point to be remembered is that we have been discussing about ordered list. So ordered linked list will have all the values positioned as per their logical order. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 like that, all the values will be in ascending order. So whenever you want to insert a new value, you have to find out where the new value fits properly. It may be proper to insert at the beginning as the first node, or as a middle node, or as a last node, depending upon its value. So that is that responsibility is with the search algorithm. So search algorithm will locate the correct position and it will return the previous pointer. Okay, so p-pre will be containing the address of the previous node after which the new node has to be inserted. Okay, which means that if p-pre is null, that means that the new node is supposed to be inserted as the first node. That is why p-pre is null. So we are looking at the condition 1 where we want to add the new node as the first node. But here we have got two possibilities. One is the new node is going to be the only node into the linked list, which means that previously the list was empty and now we are going to add a node for the first time. Another possibility is that it already contains some nodes and the new node has to be pushed into the or inserted into the beginning as the new first node. So we have to deal with the two conditions separately. First condition. So but how do we know whether it's an empty list or it is a list that contains nodes? For that I check the list head. So if the list head is currently null, it obviously means it's a empty list. So in that case, this is the situation. So it is null and I want to insert this node into this. Now what is needed? The data has to be written, and then both the forward pointer and the backward pointer is going to be null, and then the head will be replaced by address of the new node. Just look at these steps. So p new forward link to null, p new backward link to null, and set link head to p new. So that results in this modification. So now the new node has been inserted into the list. This is condition 1, which is inserting into a empty list. Next is we still want to insert at the front as the first node, but it is not going to be the only node. So here now the situation is different. We cannot accommodate the logic into the single if condition, because now we have to deal with the next node also. In a singly linked list, this situation does not arise. So we can have the single if condition for both the empty list insert and existing list insert. But now we are going to have two separate logic. So come to the else part, adding before the first node. So what changes are needed? Look at the picture and identify. So first step is the data has to be copied, and after that I have to get the forward link. Okay, the forward link of the new node is going to be the address of the list head. Okay, so the address of the list head can be copied into the forward link of the new node, so that 310 comes into the forward link of the new node, and the backward link of the new node will be null because it's the first node, and the list head is also to be replaced by the address of the new node. So that is what we are doing. See, okay, just notice one more point here. I have written set pnew blink b link to null outside the if condition. That is because it has to be executed irrespective of whether you are inserting as into an empty list or into a existing list. So instead of repeating this, I just have written it uniformly to be executed for both if and else part. So this backward link of the new node will be assigned with the null before we enter into the if condition. So that statement will not be there in the if part or the else part. Okay. Now just look at the else part. Pnew forward link to list head, which means this pointer is assigned with the list head 310. So 310 is copied into this position, and p location to list head. See, okay, and I am going to use another pointer because I want to modify this particular node also. So it's not just about changing the pointers of the new node. I also have to adjust the address of the backward pointer of the next node. So I'm going to use p location to point to the next node, which is nothing but 310. The node 310 will be pointed by p location temporarily. P location to list head. So 310 is in the list head. So when I say p location to list head, which is nothing but p location pointing to 310, and now I am saying p location b link to pnew. So its backward pointer is assigned with 170. So it is now going to be pointing to 170 as its predecessor. So and finally set list head to pnew. So this 310 will be overwritten by 170, and this results in this change, these changes. Okay, so 170 is copied here, 310 is copied, null, and head is containing 170. This is these are the two steps needed for the insert operation, one into an empty list, another into a existing list, and both are actually coming under the category of adding as first node. The second is else part. So else part means the p3 is not null. So we are not dealing with the we are not going to insert as the first node. It is either at the middle or at the end. That's why p3 is not null. So then we come to this else part. So as I told you, it is either adding as middle or adding as last node. So for that what we do is that set pnew forward link to p3 forward link. Okay, now the situation has become like this. So we want to insert either at the middle or at the end, but commonly we do these steps: pnew of forward link to p3 of forward link. Okay, so p3 is the previous node of the new node, okay, where we want to insert, that is after p3 we want to insert the new node. So we do these steps before entering into either middle or insert logic, middle or last. Set pnew forward link to p3 forward link. So which means what? The new node's forward link is copied with the p3 node's forward link. So that means that it's now going to be, see, what was the next node of the previous node now becomes the next node of the new node with this step. And the next one is set pnew b link to p3, which means what? Set pnew b link to p3. Okay, so now the pnew begins to point to the previous node with this statement, and now we have to deal with the inserting at the end and the middle separately. See, these two statements are common for both the middle and inserting at the end. So I have written it here, but we have to deal with the middle and end separately. So just look at this picture and try to identify the statement. I want to insert at the end. So what changes are needed? As usual, we have to write the data, and then the backward pointer of the new node has to be assigned with the address of the current last node. Okay, see, the backward pointer of the new node has to be assigned with the address of the current last node, which is nothing but a p pre. Okay, see, this is actually p pre, and we want to insert after that. So we have to copy that value of the p pre into the b link of the new node, and the forward pointer of the new node is going to be null, and the forward pointer of the p pre node is going to be new node. Okay, so that is what we are going to do, and we have already partially completed these steps. So we have already done p new of forward link to p pre of forward link. Okay, so this has been assigned with the null, so this null is actually copied into this, so it has become null. And similarly, set p new of b link to p pre, so this has been assigned with the 140. What is left is only changing the this one, so p pre forward link to p new, and now it becomes like this. So we have inserted at the end, and similarly we may also have to insert in the middle. So in that case, what we have to do, and before that, how do we know whether it is supposed to be inserted at the end or at the middle? For that, this condition is checked. If p pre forward link null, okay, see, it in the previous case we were inserting at the end. That is because the p pre forward link was null, and based on that we were able to determine that we are going to insert at the end. Whereas if you are inserting in the middle, then the p pre forward link won't be null, just like in this case. See here, this is the p pre node, and its forward link is not null. It is already connected to some other node, so it means we are trying to insert in the middle. And what steps are needed? So these steps are needed. We have to put the data, and after that the forward pointer of the new node is going to be assigned with the p pre value. Okay, the forward pointer is going to be assigned with the p pre value, and the backward, I mean not the, okay, see, the backward pointer of the new node is going to be assigned with the p pre, and its forward pointer is assigned with the forward pointer of the p pre. Okay, we can utilize this value. So 310 is currently occupying the forward pointer of the p pre node, which we can just copy into the forward pointer of the new node also. Okay, and so that, and also this value has to be replaced by the address of the new node. So that is what we are doing here. Set p location to p pre forward link. Okay, and one more thing is that because it is now a doubly linked list, we must also modify the next node. Okay, this we have already seen in the previous case also. So we have to go to this next node and change its backward pointer. This backward pointer has to be replaced by address of the new node, and that's what is done here. So I am using again a temporary pointer called p location. So p location 2 is made to point to p pre forward link. Okay, see, p pre forward link is 310. So when I say p location equal to p pre forward link, it actually points to 310, this particular node. After that I am saying p location backward link to p new, which means this pointer is going to be assigned with the 500 address of the new node, and then p pre forward link to p new. So p pre, this one, its forward link is p new, which means 500, and we have already completed the filling of the new node backward and forward at the beginning. So now the node gets properly inserted into the middle like this. So we followed these steps for inserting into the middle. Now coming to the deletion, deletion is also very similar. So we have to deal with the 2 pointers. Okay, let's deal with the cases of deletion. Again, the first case is p3 null, which means that we want to delete the first node. So we want to delete the first node. Once again, the situation is we are either trying to delete the only node in the linked list, or we are trying to delete just the first node. That means the second node will become first node. Again, we have to differentiate these two conditions because it's a doubly linked list. So we have to deal with the backward and the forward pointers. So this is the first case. There is a single node and I want to delete that, and it's a simple case. Just change this head pointer to null, and that's what is done. If p location forward link to null, okay, so p location is actually the node to be deleted. It is pointing to the node to be deleted, and if its forward link is null, which means it is a only node, okay. Okay, it should have been like yeah, okay, so it is correct. So if p location is the node that is going to be deleted, and how do we know whether it is the only node or not? That is a question, okay. See, even if it is the first node, it's a backward pointer could be null, okay. So a backward pointer being null need not mean that it is the only node, but if its forward pointer is null, then it is and also p3 is null, okay. You must consider both these conditions. p3 null means we are focusing on the first node. Only question is that whether it is the only node or it's a first node. So if its forward pointer is null, then it is first node and only node, and then we have to just do this one step: set list head to p location link. I mean, anyway, p location is link is null. I mean, p location forward link, okay. It's not a link, it should be forward link. So it will just be replacing the head with the null value. The next condition is that we want to delete the first node, but now we do have a second node that should become the first node. So for that, what steps are needed? Set p next to p location forward link. So what will happen? Set p next to p location forward link. So we are going to use another pointer called p next pointer. So once again, that is because we want to modify the backward pointer of the second node. So for that, we need another pointer. So p next is it's like a declaration, and it is assigned to p location forward link, which means 240. So p next is currently here, and then I say p next b link to null. So p next b link to null means this 300 will be overwritten by null value. That is because I am preparing this node to become the first node. So for first node, the b link is always null. So I am just modifying this into null. Next step, set list head to p location link. So p location link is 240, and that is copied into head. As a result of this, head will now be pointing to the second node. So this node gets removed from the linked list. So this is about deleting the first node from a list that contains more than one node. Else part. So else part means that we either want to delete from the middle or from the last. So for that, we have to deal with two conditions. One is just like the insert, deleting the last node. So here, this is an example. So now I want to delete the node having the address 410. What steps are needed? It's a very simple step. Just replace the forward pointer of the previous node to null. So this is what is done. Set p3 forward link to p location forward link. Okay. Set p3 forward link to p location forward link, which is nothing but null value. So null value is assigned into this. And then how do you know that it is actually a last node? Again, we use this particular condition. If p location forward link null, then it must be a last node. And then we want to delete a node in the middle. So in that case, what should be done? Let's say I want to delete the node that is containing pointing with the address 240. So what changes are needed? Set p next to p location forward link. So we are making p next to come to the next node of the p location, the node to be deleted, which means 440. So 440 is now pointed by p next. Then p next of b link to p location of b link, which means this 240 is going to be overwritten by 300. How 300 comes here? Because of this statement. P next of b link to p location of b link. P location is the node which we are trying to delete. P next is the node that is successor of that particular node. So this statement will make the 240 to be replaced by 300. And then we say p pre of forward link to p location of forward link. So p pre is previous node of p location, and its forward link is assigned with the p location forward link, which means 410. So 410 will be copied here, and obviously we would have deleted this particular node and connected the last node with this node. So these are the various delete options we have for the deletion of the nodes. So we have discussed about the insert and delete operations, and there is also a search operation involved in the linked list, but fortunately the search operation doesn't require much changes, because search operation is just for locating the position. We don't either we don't modify the linked list, so we don't need to change any address while we search. Only change I have to make is I have to change the link to f link, because in singly linked list we referred to the pointer as link pointer, but now we have referring to that as forward link pointer, so f link. Other than that, the algorithm remains the same. So just like the singly linked list, we use a loop to determine the correct location by comparing the target. The target is nothing but the number or value that we want to insert into the linked list. So we have to position it into its correct order as per the ascending order. So this comparison is made. So when it reaches its location, then it will be equivalent to f location, and if f location is null, then it means that if we could not find the value, so the value is not actually present in the linked list, so it is false. Else if target equal to p location key, which means that we have got the location and set found to true, and else also this found it is considered to be false. So finally we return the found, and also we get to know the address of the location. So this is the search algorithm which is implemented. As I told you, it is having no change from the search algorithm of the singly linked list. So now that we have constructed the various algorithms for the name, particularly the two algorithms, essential algorithms, insert and delete, the next task is convert this algorithm into a program. So that is what you are supposed to try. Just take these two algorithms and take your singly linked list program and modify it to be suitable for a doubly linked list program.